I don't know if you can hear it on the recording. Outside is the sound of rain falling on the roof. So nice to hear that. Such a feeling of nostalgia. So today I want to talk to you about giving yourself space to transform, which now I might use a different term, unconditional positive regard, which is very related to this. Let's talk about that.
This is a beautiful thought.
Welcome, Transformers, reality shifters and dimensional jumpers. Welcome to a beautiful thought. I wanted to talk to you about giving yourself space to transform. A few years ago, I was in this deep meditation and I got this vision. It was this vision about my ex-girlfriend and the way that she had changed over the time from when I first met her to when we finally ended the relationship. And I noticed how much she had changed. She had become much more mature and composed and independent in many ways. And I was thinking to myself, in a kind of egotistical way in this meditation, I transformed her. And this little voice in my head gently said to me, no, you gave her space to transform. Now give yourself space to transform. Oh, I wonder what that would look like. You know, some people say that people do not like to change their minds. Actually, I've had a slightly different experience. I found that people love to change their minds because people love to grow. They love to see things from new perspectives and gain more tools to help them view things in a more positive light and enjoy their life. The more perspectives, more cognitive divergence, I suppose you could say, or cognitive flexibility, allows you to see things from different angles and enjoy those angles. But people do like to change on their own terms. So I found like trying to argue with people on the internet, Socratic questioning, and not in the humble form that Socrates himself actually did, but Socratic questioning in the, in a sort of abused form, where you're like, let me show you all the ways you're wrong. Let me highlight your errors. Or if I present an argument, a case, or an essay explaining all the ways people are wrong, no, they probably won't buy that. A lot of people probably won't even read it because it doesn't appeal to them. And if you can't appeal to the audience, then what good is communication, right? However, if you embrace people and don't judge them, even maybe you suspect that they are wrong, or maybe you don't, or maybe you just allow their beliefs to exist and don't try to point fingers, because let's face it, we're all flawed. I'm probably mistaken about many things, and you're probably mistaken about many things, and we're both probably right about many things. If we allow a person the space to express themselves and we be polite and kind, then we'll both find that we're able to enrich ourselves through that conversation because we have the space to transform. I always remember this movie, Harvey, and the lines delivered by Jimmy Stewart, where he says, "Oh, my mother said to me, you got to be oh so clever in this world, or oh so nice. I was clever for years, and I much prefer being nice. I love that movie. It's a great movie. And yes, so if you are nice, if you are oh so nice, not just polite, but oh so nice, then people will feel welcome with you, and you'll both learn and gain from the interaction. Now, I wondered for a long time after that meditation saying to me, now give yourself space to transform. I wondered what that would even look like. I mean, it took me years to try to piece that together, to try to figure out if there was actually truth in that phrase. I mean, I felt the truth of it, but how do you arrive there intellectually, practically? So, I know one thing which definitely gets in the way, and it's a related thing. Auto-exigence, that is self-demandingness. So, when you get things wrong, you're extra hard on yourself, you feel guilty, culpable, disappointed in yourself, depressed, angry that you made a mistake. Ooh, so many emotions. Just for a little mistake. Just for doing what's perfectly human. Give yourself space to transform. Allow yourself space to be human, to be imperfect. Of course, those of you familiar with cognitive behavioral therapy might know the work of Ellis. He had these 14 self-defeating rules, and one of them is actually a couple related to this. One of them is always having the need to not make mistakes. A similar one is having the need for every endeavor to be a success. Now, those things are never going to be a reality, and that's the combination of them. We could call them perfectionism, or more broadly, auto-exigence. And these can be a big strain on our behavior, self-defeating, just as Ellis said. Well, if we let that go, we stop being hard on ourselves, so demanding of ourselves. What does it look like when you're not so worried about making a mistake? When you go through your past, maybe, I know for myself, sometimes even once a day, a memory will pop up in my head where I've made a mistake, and I cringe a little bit. And I remind myself that I love myself. Even those parts of myself that I'm trying to hide a bit from. And I remind myself that I don't have to be perfect today. And it's okay if I've made mistakes in the past, big or small. We're all on a journey. It doesn't matter if you make a few wrong turns every now and then. Of course, we regret those things a little bit, wish we hadn't done them, and we even have the power moving forward into the future to not do those same things again. Give yourself space to transform. Nothing transforms like space. I don't know exactly why that is. Nobody can change another. Some situations, one can't even change oneself. Not by struggling. As our great teacher, Jesus Christ, told us, look at the lily. It does not toil or spin. Just does exactly what it does. Patiently. Grows at its own pace when the resources are available. It doesn't struggle. It doesn't get angry. Give yourself space to transform. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient with yourself and giving yourself love. Even if you have the doubt, maybe you don't deserve it. Thank you for doing that. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.
A beautiful thought.
Thank you for listening. So at the top, I mentioned that term from Carl Rogers, unconditional positive regard. So what I'm doing, I'm offering cognitive behavioral sessions, and we're trying to use those 3 conditions described by Carl Rogers: empathy, congruence, and unconditional positive regard. So when you're in a session with me, then I try to relate to you. I try to put myself in your shoes psychologically, mentally, and emotionally, so I can try to see your view of the world. Congruence, meaning I'm not going to try to put up a facade. I'm trying to be who I really am, so you can feel comfortable being who you really are. And the third one, unconditional positive regard, which relates so closely to what I was describing, giving yourself space to transform. So it means that I'm going to do my best not to judge you. Like, I'm going to do my best to see the good in you. And when we do that, what we find is a person feels so comfortable. Like when you do this to yourself, and you can do it to yourself, but if I do it for you, then you might just feel so comfortable that you let down your guard, and that's when you can begin to transform. Or you can even just begin to feel free being yourself, which, how cool is that? So if you want one of these cognitive behavioral sessions, go on the website, beautifulpodcast.com, and check out the top. It says CBT sessions. You can book one with me. Have a wonderful day.
Feel like